Ahem. Ahem. Okay, hold on a second. Let me fix it. I'm gonna go a little lower here. Boop. Okay. Um, Welcome back. We're together again, one big happy family to share in the joy of PDH once again. Today is November 26th. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving if you are in the United States, um, or whatever holiday tomorrow may or may not be in other parts of the world. Happy insert a holiday or occasion here. But today, I posted on Blue Sky the other day that it was about time to revisit Sky Hussar. This is probably my favorite commander in PDH, one of my favorite cards ever printed, because I haven't done that in a while. I go about rebuilding and redesigning it maybe like once a year, um, and this has been a good year for it. So I figure, what better occasion to take this up and do it than live with all of you guys, so you can kind of see how I approach this kind of a deck. This is a deck where when people ask you, "Oh, how does your deck win?" you can say, "I don't know if it does." Because this is a very fiddly card. Dirtle spins its wheels, draws a lot of cards, but doesn't have a lot of like really aggressive outs in the way that I've played it anyway. Again, like there have been a lot of new things that have been printed that give it a little more of an aggressive bent if you want to do that. But let's go through the card real quick and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So blue, white, 3/4, a human knight, 4/3 flyer. So a good body. When it comes into play, untap all your creatures. So um, that's cool. But the reason I love this card is because of Forecast. Forecast is like one of the worst design mechanics in the history of the game. Um, it's just super repetitive. A lot of the designs are not very interesting, and kind of suck. This is the only one that's like good. Uh, so basically, what this is, Forecast, you reveal it from your hand and you do a thing. They all have different costs. You can only do it once per turn. So, for example, during your upkeep, and you can only do it during your upkeep too. So this one you can tap two untapped white and/or blue creatures, and then you reveal a Sky Hussar, show it to everybody, and then you draw an extra card. So something that I may not have said in a long time, but remains true to this day more than ever, is that I love to draw two cards a turn. It's one of my favorite things to do in Magic, and this card lets you do it consistently without fail. So that's what we're going to do. There's a couple things you can do with this card. There's a lot of cards that give you benefits for tapping the creatures. Things like, Salmon Herbalist is a 2/1 for 2 from Dominaria United. Whenever it becomes tapped, you get to gain a life and scry one. Cards like that are very good in a deck like this because, you're tapping two creatures every turn to draw an extra card. Why not get an additional scry trigger or something in there? Stony Brook Schoolmaster, another one of my favorites, 3 mana 2/1. Whenever it becomes tapped, you make a 1/1 Merfolk Wizard token. Again, like there's a number of cards that do things like that, and those are all very good here. This leads you into other cards like Larder Zombie or Samet, not Samet Herbalist, Field Surgeon. Cards that let you tap untapped creatures to do things. Larder Zombie, you tap 3 untapped creatures to surveil one. Another one of my favorite cards in the 99 in this format. Field Surgeon's a 2 mana 1/1, tap an untapped creature you control to prevent a damage to a creature. These cards are very, very useful, and you get a lot of mileage out of these tap triggers from cards like Samet Herbalist. This is a card, because you can only forecast from your hand, this is a deck that plays a lot of things like White Mane Lions, run away together the spells and creatures that return things of your own to your hand. That way you could start forecasting, drawing extra cards every turn. Then when you're ready, you can deploy it and just start attacking for 4 in the air. When you need to reset, you can bring it back, start forecasting again. There's a lot of back and forth with a card like this in terms of how you utilize it. You have a lot of different options. Because you're doing a lot of returning it to your hand, there's a lot of cards in white and blue that return permanents, not necessarily just creatures. So you can play something like Reality Acid, which is a 3 mana aura with Vanishing 3. And whenever you enchant a creature with it, whenever the Reality Acid leaves the battlefield, the creature's controller has to sacrifice it. So we can deploy it on something, recall it with our spell should we not need them to buy a Sky Hussar, make someone sacrifice a creature, etc. We can do that repeatedly. There's a spell shaper that does the same thing, so we can do that kind of stuff. You do flicker stuff and just like reset your Sky Hussar to untap all your creatures whenever you want. There's a lot of things you can do, and so we're not going to do all of them, obviously. We're going to probably, I don't know yet. We'll figure that out as we go, huh? We can lean into like tap abilities like Viridian Longbow. There's a lot of different things you can do, but I don't think that there's enough room in the deck to support all the infrastructure. So you kind of have to make some interesting choices as you go. So let's go. Let's get started here. So um, this is one of my favorite. I'm going to be kind of tricky here. Becomes tapped. This is all the creatures that do things when they become tapped. Look at the tender sunscribe here. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, scry one. Great, add it in. There's a number of these. Chrome Companion is a new one. Not as good as scrying, but you gain a life, just free life gain. Easy. Compassionate Healer is a new one from Avatar that I'm actually kind of excited about. It's like Salmon Herbalist, but a 2/2, which is better than a 2/1. Becomes tapped, gain life, scry one. And the way that these things work, when you pay costs and whatnot, is these resolve before you draw your card. So that is good. Because you're paying costs, you put the ability, you put the Sky Hussar on the stack, then these triggers go on the stack above it. Interface Ace doesn't do anything; it just untaps itself. I'm less high on this card, just because it doesn't do anything. Like even Judge of Currents, right? A 2-mana 1/1. Whenever a Merfolk you control becomes tapped, it itself is a Merfolk. Gain a life. I like this a lot better than something like Interface Ace. That just gives you another activation. We may. There's like enough of a density that I don't know if we need cards like this, but we definitely want things that scry and help us select cards. Puzzle Maker is another awesome one, 3-mana 1/4 flyer. Whenever it becomes tapped, scry one. These cards are great because you can just attack with them and get the trigger too. You don't need to necessarily use it to activate an ability. Nanoform Sentinel is one of my favorite ones from the last year. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you can untap another target permanent. So like, for example, we can tap this to activate a larger zombie and then untap a land. Like, you can just do a lot of cool stuff. You can only do it once per turn, obviously, but it's really powerful, really versatile. Inspired is a keyword that you get a lot of use out of in a deck like this, because if your creatures are becoming tapped to do things, then they become untapped naturally. So this one becomes untapped, gain 2 life, 2-mana 2/2. All these creatures are like really cheap too, so you have a lot of early game plays. You don't necessarily need to ramp in a deck like this because you're doing a lot of stuff between turns 1 through 5. You always have things to do, so it's never like you're not like rushing to Sky Hussar. You don't need to do that. It's a card advantage engine more than anything. So you can just play a lot of stuff in those turns and establish a board and do other stuff. It's fun. Summit Herbalist, here we go. Becomes tapped, gain life, scry one, 2-mana 2/1. It's kind of like the baseline. Scare Tiller is awesome. This lets us play a lot of sacrifice lands. Whenever it becomes tapped, we can return a land from our graveyard to the battlefield. There's a number of lands that will sacrifice to draw cards. Fetch lands, those sorts of things. Definitely play Scare Tiller. A lot of card advantage in a deck like this. Sphinx's Disciple, another one of my favorites. I don't think I've ever played this card where it hasn't seemed absolutely cracked. 5-mana 2/2 flyer, so kind of a shitty body, but whenever it becomes untapped, you draw a card, which is like really, really powerful. Once we have Sky Hussar out and we're able to forecast, this is what we're forecasting with every time. Because after the first untap, we're just drawing 3 cards a turn now, you know? So we definitely want that guy. Starfighter Pilot, a new one, a great new one, surveilling better than scrying, because Graveyard's a resource. Graveyard is a source of card advantage, whereas putting things to the bottom of your library is not. You don't gain a life, but whatever. Surveilling is great. Could put that guy in there. Stony Brook Schoolmaster is kind of the best one. And I kind of have a chip on my shoulder. We shouldn't say a chip. Chip has a negative connotation. I love this card. It's my favorite one of this suite of creatures. Simply because I'm a huge apologist for Intruder Alarm, and this goes infinite with Intruder Alarm. So I just like the card for other reasons. But making tokens is a really unique effect. A lot of them give you card selection. This actually like creates game objects. This generates raw card advantage. Like that's why these ones are the better ones, and Scare Tiller as well. But the selection is really important. Okay, so let's do tap. Whoops. Oh, whoops. I keep doing a space because untapped. So we're looking at cards that say tap and untapped. So tap and untapped, tap something untapped, whatever. These are cards that we're using to, because we only need 2 of them to forecast our Sky Hussar. So what are we doing with the rest of them? Should we have like 4 or 5? Adaptive Jump Guard. Tap 2 artifacts or creatures, put a 1/1 counter so we can grow it. Great. The cards look good. We'll get to these Battle Screech cards and Convoke stuff later. Gonna do these effects first. Field Surgeon, tap to untap creature, prevent a damage. This card's really, really good. You play a lot of small creatures. This is really good, like, breath weapon installation. Really helps with that. Gaze of Justice is interesting as a removal spell, but we don't need it. It's cute. If you want to be cute, play Gaze of Justice. I'm not a big fan of it, though. It's not necessary. Neither is like these lands, like the uh, what are they called? Springleaf Drumlands. Is basically what they are. They're not necessary. Larder Zombie, again, one of my favorites. Tap 3 and tap creatures you control to surveil. You just leave up all your creatures at the end of your turn. You just surveil like one or two. Again, just gets you through your deck, gets you the cards you want. This this is a commander that gives you, just by virtue of its design and what it asks for, so many different ways to dig through your deck. It's absolutely wild. We may or may not play Moonsnare Prototype and Springleaf Drum. I said we don't need ramp, but these are ways to actually tap your creatures as well to generate mana. They're not like mana rocks necessarily in the same way that like a Thought Vessel is. Yeah, let's put these in. I'm not going to do Mystic Sanctuary. This card's really, really powerful. If you want to do powerful things in Mystic Sanctuary, I'm not going to stop you. I'm just not going to put it in this deck. Some good cards like Orum's Cure or Remotion Rally or Instants that you can activate or you can cast by tapping creatures in lieu of their mana cost. There are a lot of ways for us to utilize our creatures that I don't really think this is necessary. We're not doing Persistent Petitioners. No thanks. Prismatic Strands is cool. Remotion Rally is cool. Prismatic Strands is just like a really good kind of catch-all interactive spell, so I'll probably put that one. Ranger's Hawk is a great way to utilize your creatures. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it a million times. I don't like having to carry around extra stuff, extra accessories. I'm very much like off stickers, dungeons, all these things where you need to have extra hardware. I just don't want it. This card's very good though. Like if you have no problem with that, this is a powerful card. I like it. It has my endorsement. Share Discovery as also cost tap 4 and tap creatures. Yeah, I'll have an Ancestral Recall. That sounds good. I like this card a lot, actually. Any deck that has a lot of creatures, any blue creature deck, I'll generally play this card. We already got a Sphinx Disciple, Spear Flare, no thanks. I'm gonna play Springleaf Drum. I'm a big Springleaf Drum fan. Telethopter, nope. Tettleter is cute, but no. Wordsley, no. Am I missing one? I feel like I'm missing one. I guess not. It seems like I hit all of them. Okay. So that gives us, what, 20 cards? Let's get some islands and plains in here. Whoops, island. Plains. Well, it's a 37 lander, so we'll do 18, 17. Okay, so 57 cards. A long way to go. But we've got a lot of good stuff here. All right, so now, let's see. Let's look at effects. I think what I want to do is I want to go the route of activated abilities. I think that's more fun. It's cool, and I like it. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at creatures that untap themselves. Ballynock Trapper. This card's not fun. It's really good, but it's miserable to play against. I know I've played with this card a bunch. Someone else who you can talk to about how miserable this card is Bobby B. Fine. He will tell you this card is not fun, and it's not. Let's see. Yeah, these cards. Speaking Octus player. This kind of effect's not what we're looking for. Just like things like not even like Cat Owl. What am I trying to articulate here? Let me find an example of what I'm thinking of. Not even like Horseshoe Crab, honestly. Mara Levitator. I mean, like, if Ballynock Trapper were weaker, I'd play it. Mara Levitator is cool because whenever you play a blue spell, it untaps on its own. You can give the creatures flying too, so it has a little extra utility. This is a card that's like really good with pinging enchantments. But when you look at cards that are good with like a Viridian Longbow, that's kind of what I'm looking. If you look at a card and it's like, man, this does not seem good with a Viridian Longbow, then that's not what I'm looking for. But Midnight Guard's a good example. Whenever another creature enters, it untaps. So you can put a Viridian Longbow on it, or Psionic Gift, or Hermetic Study, or any other aura or equipment with activated ability, and you get multiple uses out of it. Whenever an opponent plays a creature, you get to untap it to it again. Whenever you play a creature, you get to untap it to it again. So we're gonna play Midnight Guard. Off the top of my head, there's at least one more that we will find. But I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. No Peregrine Drake. No thanks. Yeah, not even like Pestermine. Not even like not like these one-use sorts of things, like instants and sorceries. If we were playing more artifacts, then I'd probably feel more comfortable with something like Sprint Steelfin Whale. Thousands Moves Infantry is the one that I'm thinking of, but this card just untaps every turn. On each other player's untap step, it untaps, so giving this an aura or an activated ability gets you tons of mileage. Thousand Moons Infantry. Village Bellringer is interesting as a creature that untaps all of your creatures, but I don't know if we need it. We come back to this one. This card's pretty good, but all right. So now we've got 59 cards. We've picked up a couple. Let's put a Helios Pilgrim because we're going to be doing some aura stuff, and Helios Pilgrim is really good. I don't think we're going to do like the full 800 aura tutors. There's 3, but I'm not going to play all of them. I only want that one. Viridian Longbow I've been talking about. Hermetic Study and Psionic Gift. These are all pinging modifications. By pinging, I mean they tap to deal a damage to a target creature or player. Psionic Gift and Hermetic Study are functional reprints of one another. Tap, deal a damage to a creature to any target, I guess, is the new templating on it. But 2 mana aura, pretty easy. Longbow is an equipment that does the same thing. Obviously, it's better, but these we can tutor up. Actually, we have a number of like 1 mana artifacts. Maybe if we go with more 1 mana artifacts, we can better justify a Trinket Mage. I really just don't like the idea of having like a Trinket Mage purely to get Viridian Longbow. It just makes things feel samey. If you have like a more of a toolbox, like if we can play some other, I mean, I got an itchy nose today. Skin's just dry. It's been really dry in Texas. If I have more 1-drops, like this is a great example. It's a 1 mana artifact that we can get with Trinket Mage. It also plays into what our creature suite wants to do. It also is an interactive piece should we want to. That's the kind of stuff I really like. But Viridian Longbow is really, really powerful. And then the last one off the top of my head is Ocular Halo. This card is actually really, really cool. You don't see it very much because it's strictly Azorius and it's an aura, and there's not a lot of people aren't playing a lot of Azorius decks that care about an aura like this. 4 mana gives the creature the ability to tap and draw a card. You can give it Vigilance for a white mana, but this is really, really powerful in a deck like this. If we put Ocular Halo on like Thousand Moons Infantry, for example, we get to draw a card on everybody's turn. If we put it on Midnight Guard, we get to draw a non-zero amount of cards every turn cycle. If we put it on Moonfolk Puzzle Maker, we get to, it turns into a Scry 1 draw card. So no matter like where we put it, it's good. So we're going to get that one. Okay, now we're going to get Convoke spells. This is another way we can utilize our creatures. Convoke is awesome. It's the best mechanic ever. And there's a number of cards here that we will include. Actually, you know what? We're just going to do it straight in here. Oh, Convoke. Look how cool I am. I'm so savvy with Moxfield. All right. I really like a bunch of these cards. So let's start. Conclave Equinaut is a great one. It's just a 3/3 flyer, but we can convoke it, get some triggers. We get a threat in the air, basically. Phalanx, another great one. I've talked about this card in the past. It almost never gets triggered for less than like 9 life. Like you can just gain so much life with this thing. It's really, really good. It's super easy to overlook too, because like life gain cards don't seem very exciting, but the sheer quantity of life this gets you in a deck like this, versus like how important life totals can be in the format because it's so centered around combat. This will help you get through a game a lot. Cut Short, good removal spell, destroys a tapped creature basically. There are no planeswalkers. So Cut Short, 3-mana instant, convoke, destroy target tapped creature. Great. I like that one. Ephemeral Shields is a protection spell, gives the thing indestructible. I'm not as interested in that right now. Ledev Guardian 2/4/4. Not interested in that. It's not that great. Same thing with this card. A 6-mana 3/4 on the ground is, kind of meh. But Meeting of Minds, convoke, draw 2 cards. Yes, please. Temporal Cleansing, another interact spell. This one's a sorcery, so it's a little more awkward, but it tucks something, a permanent, importantly, not just a creature, so we like that one. Thunderhead Squadron, similar to Conclave Equinaut, a big kind of sturdy flyer. Great one. And then Triplicate Spirits, which is the best. Triplicate Spirits and Battle Screech, which we saw earlier, are really the only token spells we're going to play in this deck. They're both like really, really good. Battle Screech for 4 mana. It makes 2 tokens. You can flash it back for tapping 3 white creatures. The spell itself provides 2, so you just need to give the third, but we can use more, obviously, of our own creatures, so we want more triggers from our tap creatures. Triplicate Spirits just makes 3 spirits for 6 mana. And they all convoke. These cards are really good. 3 bodies that fly is better than it reads. It seems kind of piddly for the amount of mana or resources you're putting into it, but it matters. I'll vouch for these cards. Oh, let's get Battle Screech here. Battle Screech. Yep. You just make four white birds. And like these cards are generally how you make forward momentum into winning a game. Flying is the best keyword in the format. Vigilance is second, but flying's first. Flyers will win you games. That's just the simple truth of it. I think it's as much as I relate this format to limited, that kind of maxim holds true that flying creatures will win you the game. Flying is great. Okay, so now we've got all this stuff. Let's look at some. Let me think. We definitely want creature heavy. So let's put some interaction into our creature suite. What's the new one from Avatar? Hold on. Destroy. Let's go with things that destroy things. There's probably a bajillion of them. Yeah, 146. I'm just gonna be scrolling fairly quickly here because I kind of know what I'm looking for in a sense. Break Ties is good. A Disenchant, exiles a card from the graveyard, you can reinforce it. Just a very like flexible card. I really like modal cards. Any viewer of the stream should know that by now. I prioritize them pretty highly. Cathar Commando is good. The one from Avatar I like better because it's a 2/2. We'll play both. Why not? You don't need those. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't care enough about that. Okay. Collision Course. Yeah, there's a number of these kind of cards. Coordinate Maneuver is a good one. So an enchantment or deals damage to the number of creatures you control. We have high creature count. Thraben Charm is another thing that we're going to add in, but we'll get to that. Farm Animals, Sacrifice, Destroy. 1 mana, 1/1. Yeah, I like 1 mana, 1/1s. Got cut short. Basically, like now, when you're filling out your creatures, like you want interactive elements to them, like this. You want like cantripping creatures are all good. That sort of thing. Demystify, destroy evil. No. No. Dismounting Blow is cool. I like Dismantling Blow, but it's expensive. It's expensive when we're already drawing a million cards, so don't need it. Destroy, track, attack, and blocking creature bolster. No. Yeah, sorry if you're the kind of person that wants to read all these cards. Feel free to pause the video or feel free to pause the VOD or whatever after the fact and read as many of them as you want. I don't like Generous Gift. I don't like catch-alls like this, like destroy permanent. Cool, you know. I like modal cards. I like cards that do specific things. This is just kind of like everything. I'll probably leave this one out. Again, like if you want it, play it. It's good. It's just not something that I want. Um, Inspired Insurgent, this one. It's basically just like a Cathar commander. It's a 2/2 instead of a 3/1, so it's a little more sturdy. It can attack into tokens, which is more relevant than you'd think. But like between this and Cathar Commando and the farm animals, like we have ways to destroy artifacts and enchantments. Plus, we have break ties um, as well. So this was a rare in Portal Second Age. Hold on a second. Oh, it was a Master's Edition. Okay. Well, it's a heck of a rare. Yeah, these ones not as much. Destroying target enchantment is relevant, but paying 1 or 2 mana to destroy an artifact, an option to destroy an artifact, I think is better. Um, um, ooh, I like me a loyal sentry. That's cool. Okay. Yep, still going, still going. There's one from Spider-Man that I like a lot. I don't remember the name of it, but it's cool. Nettle Guard. Do we need a third one of these? I don't think so. We have a lot of ways to interact with artifacts and enchantments. Quiet Purity, Radiance Judgment, blah blah blah. Also, I like these cards because they're rattlesnakes. They just sit out there, um, which is, adds a different kind of element to the game than something that just enters and destroys something. Symmeter Storm, no. Seal Cleansing, yeah, like something like this, but I prefer creatures. Shine Wind, no. I do like Shine Wind though. Shine Wind's pretty cool. This one, Spectacular Tactics. So it's a protection spell, it's a removal spell. We love it. We'll play it every time. Swift Response. These cards are good, but there's better ones. And the white removal has gotten quite good. Like this effect that deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control. It's really kind of proliferated in the color pie for white. So it's really good. Really, really good. All right. Another thing that we're going to do is going to play. Ooh, I like me a Wisp Mare. Nah, we're not going to do Wisp Mare. Okay. We're also going to put in a white Orsite because I love this card. It's my favorite. I'm obsessed with this card. Anybody who knows me knows that I love it. It's just an Oblivion Ring that taps for mana. I said no mana rocks, but like I think this is an exception because it's so cool, and we can reset it with things like the next suite of cards that we're going to put in here. What time is it? 7:28. We're making good time. Okay. Oh, return. Oh, you. Oh, control. Is this going to show me white main line? We don't really need a bunch of flicker spells. We can play Aegis Automaton. This card's quite good. We can just reset our Hussar whenever we want, although there is a better option for that, and I don't think we need a ton of them. This is a strong maybe. We'll play Aether Trade Winds. Return target permanent you control, target permanent you don't control to owner's hands. Actually, we may cut this for a different one, because there's a bunch of creatures that do this. Elevation of target creature you control. Yeah, like there's a number of cards that do this. The ones that I want, like Aviary Mechanic. I prefer creatures, obviously. We'll probably play like a Cloud Shift. We don't need to play like a ton of flicker spells, like 1 or 2 as like a just like a free untap all your creatures spell. Deputy of Acquittals is interesting. It's on the list. Dreamstalker returns a permanent, which I like. There's still more flexibility if you want to like return our prototype portal or something like that. You know what we're gonna do? I'll show you in a second. Let's play Ephemerate because it's so good. Exosuit Savior. This one flies just like Core Sky Fisher, which lets them attack, which I like quite a bit. Welcome, Bill. Good to see you once again. Force Away. Geist Wave is always like the last one I put in if I'm hurting for him. It bounces an land permanent, but if you bounce one of your things, you get to draw a card. So that card's quite good. We're not playing Gust or Gush or Gust of Wind actually, for that matter. a creature that flickers. I like ephemerate better, and we don't want to do like a ton of flicker stuff anyway. Skyfisher, obviously great. Return permanent you control for 2 mana. It's a 2/3 flyer, like really well statted. The card's really good. Um, you can also do like ninjutsu stuff with Sky Hussar, I suppose, to return it, but these cards are kind of limited unless that's what you're doing. Whereas like with Core Skyfisher, like it attacks well even after you've already gotten rid of your Hussar. Return a creature, yeah. Appeal from reality. There's a couple cards like this too. Return a creature you control and one you don't control. Runaway Together is the other one. And then there's one that's similar to both of them. Withdraw, but I don't think we'll play Withdraw. We'll play Silver Drake. Okay, where? 3 mana. I don't know how many of these we need, but we'll put that one in for now. You generally don't need a ton. This is kind of like the best one. I like this better than Aegis Automaton, actually. It's a spell shaper, so you have to discard a card, which is a cost, but this deck draws a ton of cards, and it's a 1/3 flyer, like the stats are better. It's not a 5 mana ability, it's just 1 blue. I really like this card in general. And White Mane Lion is flash, yeah. White Mane Lion is just a bit easier to cast Deputy of Acquittals, so I think like this is higher in priority. Okay, and I think that's everything. All right, let's go back and we're going to play Reality Acid. We're going to do the Reality Acid stuff. 94 cards. Okay, doing great. Reality Acid, mentioned before. Oh, enchant permanent. Okay, so you can kill people's lands too. No big deal. We're going to do that. That sounds fun. 34 creatures. We can definitely stand to bolster our numbers a little bit. Let me just flip through the list here. No, I don't really want this large zombie. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Let's put in. I just blanked. I had something in my head and then I forgot about it immediately. Oh, we can play just some like ETB cantrip stuff. So like, what are some of my favorite ones? Seagate Oracle. We can play. What's the Geist, the new one from Innistrad Remastered? It's a Geist. I know that. It's a 4-mana 2/2 that sleight of hands. Tower Geist. Look at top 2/1 graveyard 1 hand. Something that I've said before, not for a while though. Whenever you're looking for like generic effects like this, like ETB draw card, generally speaking, when you can, go for the ones that have flying or other evasion because you can use them to attack. It ends up mattering. Whenever we can play that one, because you get to look at 2 cards. These things are good if you need like an outlet for your Core Skyfisher or something to flicker with your Ephemerate. Like these cards always are good in a pinch. And then we can play our enters draw. Play some cheap ones, like the 2 mana stuff. Oh, let's get we'll go back to that in a second. Let's get Thraven Inspector and Novice Inspector. These cards are great for convoking. They're great for hussaring. Anyway, back to this. Like Carrier Pigeons is cute, but not really doing that. Cloud Conceer is another good one. I do like me a Cryogen Relic, but this is not that deck. What are we at? We're at like toggle deck preview. I want to toggle it. Okay, there we go. Doesn't tell me how many cards I have in the deck, does it? Okay, never mind. right, let's just add the stuff and then we'll take a look. There is a good water bending card we need to play too, actually. Let's put these cards in here. I'll end up cutting stuff probably. Oh, we have to play Mull Drifter, don't we? Yeah, we'll play Mull Drifter. Kind of customer. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw all these in, and we can cut some stuff once I'm done. 3 mana for a 1/1's not where I'm at. The Mull Drifter is obviously a classic. Omen. Oh, this is a good example of one of those land sacrifice draw card. Good for Scare Tiller, obviously. Enter Sky 2, no. No, 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 no. I like this card, but not gonna play it. Nope, 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 nope. These cards are good. Affinity for creatures. Not gonna do it. Actually, you know what? You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna not play all these. We're gonna play some more threatening cards. Let's get our visual spoiler. Okay, 736. I gotta finish this up pretty soon. Okay, we're definitely gonna keep these two because I like these cards and they're cheap and they do cool things. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut like the kindly customer stuff. We have tons of stuff for this, and I don't think we need these cards if I'm being perfectly honest. I want to play more threatening stuff. I'm gonna cut that. Is that all of them? I guess we can. Yeah, I don't think I want to cut any more of these cards. Maybe we'll cut the 3 mana one. It's just a 3/2 on the ground. Don't like that as much. Maybe cut Sheer Discovery because we don't need to draw that many cards. We have Meeting of Minds, which is instant speed. We've got removal. Oh, we have to. Let's. No, we're not going to do that. Okay. Switch this printing real quick. Sorry. 4 good auras. Okay, and we got those. Let's get some scary guys. Lux Knight Breacher, Squad, Captain. Crusader of Odric. Just some beaters. I like these cards. So enters with a 1/1 counter for each other creature or and artifact you control. We are a creature heavy deck. We have 40 creatures. These things are going to be large and in charge, and powerful. These things are going to really put pressure on the board. In addition to what we're already doing, it's very dirtily, so it's good to have some like straightforward, aggressive things that we can just like slam in with. Crusader of Odric is different. It just scales based on how many creatures you have. It's dynamic, whereas these are fixed. And this also gets benefited from our ways to bounce our creatures back to our hand, just because we can reset it and get more counters should we need them. One more card. Let's get that Pack Beast. All right, this is kind of a loose one. I'll probably go back and edit this, or take this list and edit it a little bit. We have 100 cards. I think this is where we kind of want to be. This is just an affinity for creatures, ETB draw. So it kind of hits both metrics. It's a larger creature for cheap. You know what we can do? Let's just play Argivian Phalanx as well. And we can cut. I'm not cutting Mull Drifter. Cut this Catholic Commando. Actually, no, we'll keep Catholic Commando and we'll cut the Dawnbringer Cleric. Boom. 41 creatures. You love to see it. Let's get some lands in here. Type land. All right. Gonna go kind of quick here. I don't like those. Good Broker's Hideout. That's great with Scare Tiller, Command Tower. Just gonna go quick here. some duels. Beachfront. That one. Opal Palace. Actually, Opal Palace is not that great because we're not really casting our commander from command zone very often. We'll play Path of Ancestry because our commander's a human. We have a lot of human creatures, and we'll be casting our commander fairly frequently. So getting that free scry is pretty good. And then just about done here. Skybridge Tower, another one lets us draw a card. Duels let us draw cards. Alright, I think that's fine. I don't really care about these ones. I don't want a tapped land that enters. I don't want land that enters tapped and just adds 1 mana when I have other ones that can do other stuff. University Campus is so Surveil. Yes. Okay, that should be it. Alright, let's remove some basics. 8. Oh, only 8. That's pretty good. Okay. What's their balance look like? Really heavy white. Alright, so 6 we'll get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. What? Okay, it should be more like that. Okay. We'll cut one more. One more. Okay. Let's take it in. Let's deal another hand. Yep. Let's put one with actual lands in it. There we go. Let's play this one. Land heavy, but that's fine. Got lands. Got spells. This is fine. We can do this. Okay, turn 1. Here we go. Oh, that's perfect. Let's just get our tap lanes out. We're not really under any pressure to like curve out, which is good. That's why I like this deck a little bit. Because our commander gives us a lot of room to sequence our turns, so we don't need to rush into anything. Turn 2, we just play land and pass. Easy. Turn 3, we can start getting stuff. We can just double spell. Let's get Starfighter Pilot and this Farm Animals out. Because now what we can do on turn 4 is we can, like, if we want to, if we have an attack, we can do that. Let's say we do. We can Surveil 1. We can leave that one on top. Triplicate Spirits is really good. We can go 1, 2, 3. We can cast Stony Brook Schoolmaster. If we don't want to attack, we can just leave these up and have. Actually, we can self cut shorts because we can convoke cut short if we want to. So we have an extra layer of protection here with these creatures up. Let's say that we cut someone short, right? Tap, tap, convoke, cut short, boom, kill a tap creature, make a token. Convoking is so much fun. And now we have this thing? Okay. I should have done this early. Let's say that I played. No, I guess it doesn't matter. I played like that. Okay. Now what we can do is we can even just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Yeah. Put triplicate spirits. Make some spirits. Have enough mana for a coordinated maneuver should we need to destroy something, which is good. And now what we get to do is we get to just, you know, cast our commander. Let's say we attack first, right? 1, boom, boom, boom. Don't have good attacks with these anymore, let's say. So we could do that, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll cast our Hussar and untap these. No big deal, nothing earth-shattering, just take a turn to deploy it. And now we just really we're just hanging out. We've got stuff to do until we find a way to return this to our hand, and it's just attacks for 4. We've got a lot of stuff going on anyway. Like we could Thunderhead Squadron this turn, we can get this gem card online, which I kind of want to do. And then we can just like tap, tap to put a counter on this. And we get to Surveil 1. Let's put that on the bottom. I just want to get this back to my hand. And then we'll make another Merfolk Wizard. You can, you know, tap, tap, another counter. Just make this thing huge and slam in for 4. Infantry, okay, combo time. 1,000 means infantry. Hermetic Study. Now we're just pinging stuff every turn too. Okay, I think I've demonstrated that these cards are great. And then like we keep going. We're not drawing any way to get it back to our hand for a while, but that's okay. This time we have it, but we have no mana, so let's restart. This hand is fine. Alright, let's go. Reality Acid, sweet. Gonna hold on to that for a little bit though. Just gonna Starfighter Pilot on turn 2. Turn 3, we can go like this, Surveil 1. Let's leave that one on top so we can cast our commander on curve. And then we can go 1, 2, 3, Judge Occurrence, and Gears Farm Animals. Got our land. Now, like if we were to do Luxnight Breacher, right, it's each other creature, so 1, 2, it's a 5/5. 4 mana 5/5 is not bad. And then we can go like attack, attack, surveil. Put this on the bottom. Cast Hussar. Untap. Tap all lands. Right on schedule. So now we can go 1, 2, 3, cast Silver Drake, return this to our hand. We only have 2 mana, so we can Phalanx if we want, but we don't need to. We'll just leave this, and then next turn, you know, when I hit next turn, I'll draw my card. But during our upkeep, tap, tap, so we gain a life, surveil 1. We'll leave Muldrifter on top, reveal this, draw an extra card, draw a card for turn. And this is like good at attacking. Okay, so we've got 5 mana. Let's just cast a full freight Muldrifter. Why not? Right, and then we can like attack. You know, do it again, right? Surveil this to the graveyard because we don't want that. Draw 2 cards. This is even better. Maybe we don't do a Reality Acid thing. Yeah, it hasn't really borne out yet. But again, like you see how now we're drawing two cards a turn. We have like this. We have removal. We have like sturdy creatures that can just attack. Like these things can just attack. You know. Okay, let's go back. This hand's kind of mopey because we don't have any blue sources, but that's okay. Let's keep it. Starfighter Pilot again. I want a hand without Starfighter Pilot. That has land and not Starfighter Pilot. This hand sucks. This hand is very playable. Okay. Draw a card. We'll just play our lands. You know, first couple turns, not really drawn into much early stuff here, but that's fine. You know, not a huge deal. And now, like, we can interact with this if we want. Obviously, if we do this, we'd have to return bounce a land. We can destroy an enchantment or exile a graveyard, whatever. Not the worst. Let's just cast White Arcite and exile something. Play land. Cast this thing. And now we tap this and cast Dreamstalker, return this, and cast our Scaretiller. So now we're not online just yet. We only have 1 colored creature, which is unfortunate. Just got our second. Let's get the Sun Guide. Let's see. Got a lot of options. Like, here's things we can do. We can sacrifice this to draw a card, and then like start getting value with our Scaretiller. We can put Ocular Halo on this Scaretiller so that we can tap it every turn to draw a card, and sacrifice this every turn to draw cards. Just draw a bunch of cards that way. We can put Hermetic Study on Scaretiller, do the same thing, ping stuff. A lot of different things we can do. What I kind of want to do is just establish this Halo on the Scaretiller. I think that's cute, and I want to do that. Okay, upkeep, do this, draw an extra card. This is cool. and kind of drew Thousand Moons Infantry a turn too late, but that's okay. We'll get it out there now. Tap this, draw card. Don't have any lands to deploy, but this is good. We can put that out next turn. And Silver Drake. So now what we can do is we can tap, trigger, untap this, gain 2. That's cute. Draw an extra card. That's cute. Yeah, you see how many cards? We're just drawing like a million cards. You know what I kind of want to do? Let's cut the Ephemerate. And we'll play Runaway together. And we'll cut the Reality Asset too. It's just not consistent enough. It's cute, but I don't want to do it anymore. And we'll play Geistwave. Just a great spell. Like I said, it's always just like the last one I put in. This is kind of expensive too. I don't really want Aether Trade ones. Instead, let's play Alchemist Retrieval. Actually, you know what we'll do is we'll play the one that I forgot about. What's the wizard? He's a 2/2. Return. You. Whoops. Control. Where is he? Where is he? This. Deputy Acquittals. Let's do that one. Okay. All right. Because like even if we draw like a glut of these things that we use ostensibly to just bounce our Sky Hussar, that just gives us a lot more freedom to like redeploy it and start attacking because we can always recall it when we need to. Tellurian Sentinel's not as good if we're not playing Reality Acid, but it's just like a 2-card combo that we can't really guarantee. And this is just like good anyway, so that's fine. Got a couple good ETBs, like if we need to. Not too concerned about it. Okay, let's go back in. It's 7:52. We got a little bit of time. All right, this is fine. I'm happy with this. Just get our lands out there. Get our tap lands out first. That's good. That's good too. Okay, so we'll just start casting creatures here. Just start casting creatures. Let's get this one out. Then we'll just put a counter on it. Why not? Don't have anything else to do. And now we can cast our commander. Well, let's put a counter on this first. And then we can cast our commander. I guess when this triggers, we do that. Cast this, untap this. And now we can do this. Attack. Get Silver Drake, buy this. So now we've got a good board. We can't attack. These are both have semi-sickness, so we'll just put another counter on this guy. Actually, we'll do it like this, because then this triggers, you can untap that. And then we can just do it again. Now we have a big ol' 7/7. That's pretty cool. Geistwave is great. So now what we can do is we can tap this and this, untap this, draw an extra card. Ocular Halo is good. Not like on any of these creatures. But what we'll do is we'll just cast this Conclave Phalanx, why not? We can always rebuy it later. Just gain 5 life. Actually, you know what we'll do is we'll convoke with that. We'll convoke just like that. And that way we can Ocular Halo on this. And this is going to be important for a decent reason. So this is a tough card to kill. It's a 2/4. It's beefy. It's out of bolt range. 4 toughness is like kind of a pseudo magic number. What we'll do, I'll show you here. So what we'll do is we'll forecast this, trigger here in response. We'll tap this, draw a card, trigger targeting this, untap this, draw for Hussar. And we drew for turn. So we drew 3 cards. um, which seems good. And this card's even better. Um, so now we just kind of have an embarrassment of riches. What I kind of even want to do is we don't really need Hussar to draw cards right now, so we can get this online. Well, yeah, we'll play that. Actually, what we'll do first is we'll like tap these, put a counter here, we'll tap this, draw a card, enters, untap everything. Oh, I didn't know I still had one of these in the deck. Could play something else. And then now, I have all this mana up. We can bounce something, can destroy something, break ties, whatever. We can draw a card, tap, tap, counter, untap, draw a card. Yeah, so we just have tons of cards. Okay, let's get rid of this Helpful Hunter. I don't want it. And we'll put in something else, and then we'll probably call it after that. As you can see, like, it's a lot of little pieces that come together and just do a lot of really cool stuff. um, let me think. We'll do a search. Creatures you control. I want a creature, actually. Just look at something that scales based off of our creature count. Things like this are good. Charismatic Vanguard, things that pump your team. Those are always safe bets. Kind of like Flight Deck Coordinator, actually. At the end of your turn, if two or more things are tapped, you gain 2 life. It seems kind of free. And it's a 3 for 3, so the stats are pretty good. I think that's where I'm going to go with this. Junie says hello, as I'm sure you can hear. She loves you all too. Yeah. Oh, no, no, no. Where's that water bending card? Geyser something. Is another thing we can use our creatures for. Geyser Leaper. Yeah, so water bending is kind of like Convoke, but an ability. And draw a discard one. 4/3 flyer. Good stats. Lets us draw a bunch of cards. Just really good. I like that. What was a what was I gonna I was gonna do something else. Oh yeah, Flight Deck Coordinator. Let's cut the Sentinel. No, I like the Sentinel. I want to play this Flight Deck Coordinator really bad though. I like having these guys. Alright, I'm just gonna put it in. I'm committing to this card. We can cut maybe like one of these. Probably this one. Okay, I'm happy with this. Because these are humans, so they trigger off of our Path of Ancestry. Yeah, we got a lot of humans. Let's see. 43 creatures, 26 humans. That seems good. Yeah, so let's say that. That's what we're doing. So we have a lot of creatures that scale off our creature count, which is super high. We have a lot of effects that take advantage of tapping our creatures, which gets us additional bonuses. We have ways to find the things we need. We've got, Helo's Pilgrim to get our Ocular Halo if we want. Most likely we'll always be getting this because it's awesome. We've got a Trinket Mage to get any of these. This is a lot of cool stuff. You know what we should do actually is we should play Razor Tide Bridge. That way our Trinket Mage can get us a land. I think that's a great idea. Okay, so we're gonna call it there. So now you kind of get an idea of why I love Sky Hussar so much. There's so many options, so many game actions you can take. Just a ton of stuff you can do. I'm gonna put the farm animals back in. Sorry, I'm just like freaking out because I think that's better than having this card. Okay, now I'm done for real. And it's $10. These cards are cheap. You can get them anywhere. Junie loves it. You can hear her in the background. She loves this commander. But it's 8 o'clock, so I gotta get going. Hope you got a nice little insight into how I like to play, how I like to build decks. This is one of my favorites. This is probably like the baseline of what I'll continue to work on as I finalize the redesign of this commander. I love it. Draw tons of cards, do tons of things. What else is there to say? Deck list is going to be in the description, obviously. List with all the other decks we've built in the description as well. And then below that, you'll find 2 links to Turns Lifeline and Trevor Project. If you can donate to those organizations, I recommend that you do. So with that, I will see y'all next week, and have a wonderful holiday if you're in the States. If you're not, have a wonderful Thursday or whatever you decide to celebrate. It could be anything. That's all I have to say about that.